Tomato season is in full swing, both indoors and out. Those Rio Grande tomatoes outside have been awesome. I've got some peppers going on in here. This is going to be a slightly different garden update because I am going to talk about these lovely fuzzy plants. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Kathryn. I'm the Aerogarden Homesteader, and I have been struggling to grow edamame for a while now. I started by trying to grow the seeds in soil. The seeds just rotted. I don't know why. I think the soil was too wet, but I don't know. I tried again, same thing happened, so I gave up for that season. This year I tried again. I tried putting them in the pods using the same trick I used for doing cilantro, and they rotted again. They rotted and molded at the same time. It was bizarre. So, I tried something different. I tried sprouting some seeds in mason jar, and lo and behold, it worked. And I have these lovelies growing right now. I have a fan on them, not right this second, but I do have a fan on them to give them some feedback and make sure that they're growing strong. They are supposed to be bush style, so I don't know if they will eventually need support, but it has definitely been a process to get here. But there's a caveat to that. I ended up using seeds that came from the Winco bulk bins, and even though it says that they're soybean and edamame is immature soybean pods, they're different seeds. So I don't know if the sprouting process would work for the seeds that I normally buy at the seed store. So I guess at some point I'm going to have to try that. But if you have tried growing edamame and it's just not working for you, maybe try getting some soybeans. It has been about 4 days, I think, since I rinsed these. So I soaked them overnight. I rinsed them 3 times a day, and they are looking really good. I rinsed them earlier this morning, and they are due for a rinse. But I was kind of hoping I could get some of them just planted in the pods. So this is the journey that it has taken to get to this point. Holy crap. I probably soaked too many, but I wanted to make sure it would work. So I have my sponges here. They have been ripped open on the side. These are actually the same ones I used before that were really gross. So I'm hoping that I can get these in far enough for the root to be down there and solid, but loose enough that everything stays, everything can pop out and grow. So we're just going to have to fiddle with that. Okay, that's probably the best I'm going to get. Get this in a basket. Be careful with the root on the side. So I'm going to stick my thumb down there a little bit to try to open up the cover and then get that in. There we go. Popped out on the side. That's one down, and I got a whole bunch to go. I am going to try to go for ones that look a little more healthier. So I've got all these green ones here that look really nice, so I'm going to try to go with the green ones first, although the first one I chose was not very good. So a few of them did not do well. I did notice that, so the root sprouts, wow, that one looks awesome. The sprouts are delicate, so I had to be really careful while I was rinsing them, but these look really good. I might actually swap that one out for, this was really good. Okay, so I have to be really careful with these because I don't want to snap the root. I don't even know how much of this is root and how much of this is stem. I guess the stem can go down a little bit. It's probably okay. But at some point they need to just start going on their own. Okay, so I'm going to actually hold, this one's got a longer root on it. I'm going to hold it down and help guide it in. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna put a healthier one in here. This one looks fine, but if I'm gonna make this work, I want nice big healthy ones. So I might save that one in case. But yeah, look at this. Go for the green ones first. So I have not been keeping these from light or anything. They have had access to light, just not super strong light. But they are, my goodness, this has been a journey. So I will keep you informed of how this goes. This is going to be the story from beginning to end. You're going to see all the ups and downs and the craziness that had to go into getting to this point. It was just ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to actually put these on the other garden to help keep them upright. Now I may put humidity domes on, we'll see. They might be at a point where they may not need them. So we will see. Look how cute and fuzzy these little plants are. They are so adorable. This is the edamame, or at least I hope it's the edamame. These are the soybeans that I planted. They are doing wonderful, and they are so fuzzy and cute. It's just incredible. So I got a fan on blowing them. It gives them a little bit of strengthening, and hopefully when pollination time comes it will help. So they all kind of have different degrees of health to them. Some did better than others, and I don't know what caused, what happened with those. Now, to be fair, after all of these experiments and finally getting these to grow, these are not the edamame seeds that come in the seed packet that I was getting from Ferrymore's. So I don't know what was wrong with those packets. I do know that the store I was getting them from does like to keep their seeds out in the atrium, which gets really hot in the summer. So I was buying them early spring to try to, hopefully beat the cooking process of the atrium. So the seeds still did not germinate. So these are soybean seeds that I got from the bulk bins at Winco. And is it the same? I don't know. The seeds look a little different, but hey, it's soybean. So, and edamame does say it is immature soybean pods. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I hope that this whole process has been informative. And if you do start this journey for yourself, that you have some methods in your... This has been a really interesting journey to get here so far, and I am so looking forward to seeing if these work. It does look like there might be some little flowers just starting to form in some of the crooks of the plants, but I don't know. I have never grown them before. So if you have any advice on growing edamame, let me know. I'm curious. This is my first time trying it. I did not know these would be so lovely and fuzzy. Look how fuzzy these plants are. They're just so cute. On another note, I have started some more cilantro, finally. I started more cilantro. I'm testing out a different type of peat moss block. It's not made out of peat moss, but I'm testing out another, like a block replacement. So stay tuned for that. If it all works out, I'll take you along and show you how that worked out. It's definitely a lot cheaper, but it's definitely a thinking outside of the box thing. So if you've been thinking about getting into Aerogardens and you're just like, oh, I just don't want to have to buy all those sponges because, yeah, they do kind of add up after a while, then maybe stay tuned and I will hopefully get that out. I'm kind of hoping I can get that out, in the next month or so, but, I really want to test it well and make sure it's not going to, destroy an Aerogarden. But hopefully that will come along soon. And I put my beans out in the garden finally. So it was sort of the same process that I did with the soybeans. I sprouted them first. I let them get tiny tails. I didn't want the tails to be too long because I didn't want them to accidentally break while, rinsing them. But I did do the same process where I soaked them overnight, then I rinsed them 3 times a day until I saw the little sprouts, and then I got them in the garden. So they might be in the garden a little late for my zone. I'm zone 7, and I think I have not looked this up yet. So this is your reminder that if you need this information, you should probably look it up. I did not look up my first estimated frost date yet. But so far it has been about the middle of October, so I don't anticipate that shifting a lot yet. Climate change has been really weird lately, so I don't know what's going on. I do have my fingers crossed that the season will go a little bit later this year because I think I am actually pushing it for getting them in the ground the beginning of August. We're actually a little bit more into the beginning of August than I would have liked because it's 50 to 60 days on those, and that's 50 to 60 days for the first instance of the pods showing up. They may not even be big enough to eat at that point, and that's under ideal conditions. So I don't know what's going to be happening with that, and I guess we will just have to play it by ear. But yes, edamame. It has definitely been a very interesting journey to get here, and what a pain in the butt. I will be trying out some seeds if I can find some good ones next year that actually say edamame. just to see if sprouting them first will help, but I don't know why, but they just fall apart and disintegrate, so yeah. Let me know if you want to see any videos on anything tomato related. I don't know what I'm actually going to be doing for my tomatoes, putting them up. I do have a bunch of tomatoes, but right now we've been just doing fresh salsa, and I will probably start putting some in the freezer just so that I can process them into roasted salsa later. But looks like I have a lot of tomatoes, but when you roast it, it kind of cooks down a little and doesn't take up that many jars, so I don't know how many I'm going to need to save up. I might have to go and do a U-pick on my tomatoes this year just to make sure that I have enough. But, you know, time will tell. But give me your wish list if you've got some tomato things you want to see. Maybe there's something I haven't done yet or haven't even thought to do. So, yeah, give me some ideas. Anyways, I hope you found this video useful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will have my salsa video linked at the end just so you can see how I make my fresh salsa. It's so good. And I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.